What's up? I want to say happy Monday, but I don't know if you're having a happy Monday. I would love to help you change that around real quick. Just in case you're coming across me for the first time, I'm Lupita V. I am known as the anti-therapy therapist. So if you're the type that doesn't believe in therapy, then this is the place for you. I believe that you can have amazing, I don't know if I could say bad words on YouTube, amazing freaking results really, really quickly. And you don't have to be in therapy for years in order for you to cure stuff around depression, anxiety, relationship issues, trauma, stuff like that you grew up with that are still harboring within you. I help my clients get amazing freaking results in as little as 3 weeks, where they're just like, holy F, like, how did this even happen? So if you're interested in working together, my information is in the caption below, link to all of my socials also. I wanted to hop on to talk about fear around money, because that that shit is just, I'm just gonna say it, right? That shit is real. It is real. So something that I teach my clients is it's important for you to tell a different story around whatever it is that you are having a hard time with. So, for example, let's say you're here because you have fear around money. What do you do to get rid of that? How do you get rid of the fear around money in order to make more? And the truth of the matter is, there's been a lot of research on like millionaires and even billionaires. They never get rid of the fear around money. But there is one thing that they do that helps them win every single time. And I'm going to tell you what that is today. And it's really simple, yet challenging. So, this is super, super, super freaking important. I'm gonna give you an example of myself. So, in 2020, my business didn't do well and I was homeless. I was living out of my car with my son. And then my son had to like go live with his father, and COVID was just like a really, really crazy time. And I fully immersed myself into becoming the businesswoman that I am today. And that changed me completely. So it did take me some time to get rid of the fear of money, only because I wasn't aware of what I was doing. I wasn't aware of how I was making all of this money, and still being really scared of not having enough. So, hey, what's up, Cam? Um, Please don't be rude. Don't be rude. Like, come on, dude. Um, And if you're gonna come on here and say something like that, that clearly tells me that you have a problem with money or self-esteem. Anyway, so how do you get rid of this fear around money? The truth is, you have to tell yourself a different story around money. You have to tell yourself a different story that connects you to money. Some people like to think of it, or some ways that I used to help my clients with, like, think of money as energy. But for some people that don't believe in that woo-woo stuff, it really doesn't resonate with them. And it is really powerful if you think of money as an energy. Like, I can't come up here, I can't be live and be like, thanks, Cam, I appreciate you. What's up, RD Photography? Um, I can't be on here and be like, hey, what's up, guys? I want to talk to you about money and how I was able to like get rid of my. No, like, you're going to keep scrolling. You're going to keep scrolling, right? And so if you think of money in that way, when it comes to energy and feeling energized around that, then you do attract more money from that sense, right? I don't want to get too scientific, but if you really want me to, like, comment, um, because what we're really talking about is you choosing to believe a different story about you and money. So if you're saying, I never have enough, I never have enough, I never have enough, I never have enough, guess what? you're gonna find that to be true in your in your reality, in your world. Let's call it like your world, right? You don't want to make it too woo woo. Like this is connected to like manifesting and attracting more money into your life, maybe like not even wanting to work for it. The thing is, the way that I help a lot of my clients make more money is that you're already doing so much work and you're not charging for it. That's your problem. There's a lot of people pleasing that's happening there, right? If you don't want to think it in manifesting, if you don't want to think of it in like law of attraction or law of assumption, you really want to look at it from a logical or practical way. Most of my clients that come across me that have trouble with money, they either are, most of them are business owners or entrepreneurs. They're either not charging enough for their services. What's up, Rich? They're not charging enough for their services. Or let's say you have a 9 to 5, you're not asking for the money that you're worth. And that is because of the story that you have made in your head with you and money. Like, I'm not enough. I haven't done enough. I'm not enough to ask for that much when it comes to money. I'm not confident enough. I need to work on my skills more. Or what if my boss says no to me? Or what if the client says no? Just all of these things that are happening within that story that you are creating that has to do with money. And so then it blocks you from actually getting what you want. It blocks you from actually attracting or going after what is there for you. I remember the first time, or let me say the most recent time, that I decided to increase my rate because of everything that I do for my clients and they get their results like that. And I was afraid to ask for more money, but I just felt like, you know what? I'm fucking worth it. I am worth it. I'm going to ask for it. You know what the client said to me? He said, say less. He says, say less. Where do I send the money? I was creating this big old story around I'm not enough. What if they say no? First, I created the story, right? Like, I'm not enough. Who am I to ask for this? And just all of this BS. BS, because what I do is so freaking powerful. Yeah, arty photography, I would love to help you with that. My consultations are free. My link is in the description. Go ahead and schedule a consultation with me. I'd love to do that. So yeah, thanks, Cam. I really appreciate that. Yeah, and so are you. So are you. What you're doing is you are not asking for what you're worth. And then what happens is, so here's the most two important things, right? People think like, oh, if I work on my depression or if I work on my anxiety, how's that gonna help me make more money? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, do you know how valuable you are? I mean, this is something I love saying. And I heard this like in a TV show with Kimmy Schmidt, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. That's one of my favorite shows. And there's a character on there named Titus. And she's like, you know, the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me this year is that I found this amazing apartment in New York. And then I met you, Titus. And Titus was like, he's like, I've never got to meet me. You know, it's just like so freaking hilarious. And like, you are downplaying yourself so much. Have you ever fucking met you? Like, seriously, have you ever seen the work from, seen your work from someone else's eyes? Like, I am able to help people get over their most traumatic and most anxious and most depressive experiences like that, and help them make money and make beautiful, passionate connections through love and family. Just like so fucking amazing, right? But this is like second nature to me. And so for me to not be able to see that can sometimes happen. And that's what happens with you when you're not asking for what you're worth. You are looking at it through your eyes. You're looking at it through your eyes, and you're not looking at it through your prospective client's eyes. You're not looking at it through your boss's eyes. How freaking valuable you are either to the company or to your business or to your clients, you're totally downplaying yourself. Like, again, have you ever met you? Like, and so this is so important. The fear around money is the story you have around it. Whether you're saying that you're not worthy enough, you're not smart enough, you don't have enough skills, all of that BS, all of that BS, because you wouldn't have these opportunities if they weren't meant for you. You wouldn't want this stuff, you wouldn't want that amount of money or whatever it is, how like amount of clients, whatever it is that you're looking for, you wouldn't want it if it wasn't meant for you. Hello. Oh, thanks for tuning in from Manchester, Manchester United. So it's the story that you are connecting yourself to money, and I've been there. Like, so I left the nonprofit world. I didn't know how to have a business. I didn't know how to be a businesswoman. And then COVID came and my business was, it just like plummeted. I had no idea what the hell I was gonna do. Like I said earlier in the video, I was homeless. I was living out of my car. Everything happened so quickly. And I knew that I could help people in such a powerful way and so quickly, right? That's why I call myself the anti-therapy therapist. If you don't believe in therapy, then this is a place for you, because we get stuff done like that. Like I help my clients create transformations and just change like in as little as 3 weeks. It's like, don't even get me started on the money that they're able to make. I have a bunch of testimonials available on my Instagram. So I should make another page just on testimonials. I'm gonna do that today. Anyway, so I mean, these are the tangible things. These are the tangible things when it comes to do with when it comes to money. But anyway, going back to that, I had to change the story that I had around money. So what I was telling myself is, I'm not worth it. No one would pay that. No one would want to pay me these things. Or how am I gonna make this happen? And I was coming across a lot of dead ends. I was even like getting work at regular therapy centers, at therapy centers, you know, at places where they do like regular therapy. And I just like, even those places, people, the people that were interviewing me, like, wow, you are amazing. You have accomplished so much in such little time. Why are you here? We feel like we don't deserve you. I heard that like at least 3 times when I was interviewing. I was like, all right, man, something's happening. I'm not doing something right. Like this, and they can't pay me what I'm asking for, because they don't comprehend that way of looking at money. And I just thought, maybe I'm just asking for too much. Maybe I need to like calm down, like, girl, sit down, be humble, right? And I was just like, no, fuck that. Something is off here. I need to fix it. I know I can help people in a very powerful way. What am I missing? What am I missing? I'm not seeing it. And then it became like so obvious to me. I did an abundance challenge, and it was the story I was telling myself about money. I wasn't asking for help when it came to money because I didn't know what I was doing wrong, but I also wasn't asking for help to help me change my story around money. Um, awesome, RD photography. I can't wait to talk to you. Um, Changing that story around money was so powerful. I needed help. I needed for someone. It's so hard to see the label from inside the jar. I heard Dr. Joe Dispenza say that once, and I was just like, that's yes. I believe that we are social creatures, and it is important to reach out for help to help us get through whatever challenges. Do you need help all the time? I don't know. Sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we need help for different things, right? But I can tell you one thing, the only reason why you have this fear around money is because of the story you have created around it. Everyone's story is a little different, but it all has to do with, I'm not worth it. I don't believe I can make it. Is this really possible for me? And I can tell you, it is so possible. That year when I was homeless, I went from making zero for 6 months because I wasn't asking for help. As soon as I started asking for help and I started to figure out what my problem was and change the story, I started to make money so quickly. And I was attracting clients that just loved what I was doing for them. They valued my services. They loved how I was helping them in really, really big ways. And I was feeling valued. I felt really good about what I was doing. And so that first year, I would just say the second year that I was in business, this is gonna sound like crazy, but I doubled what I made in the first year, right? And then the third year I was in business, then I quadrupled what I made, and then I kept going and going and going. And all of this had to do with the story that I was connecting myself to money and just not understanding what money means and all of the freaking trauma around money that I was carrying too. Like, well, I came from a poor family. I'm not rich. How am I going to make this happen? How is this going to happen for me? I want to work with affluent people. I want to work with people that have money to help them understand, anxiety and depression and get them to have like big transformations. But I didn't come from money. See, like there was always a but. I want to make this amount of money, but I want to do this with my life, but I want to go in this place, but I want to do all of these things, but. So I learned to leave the butts with the Kardashians. I love, I made that up. I need to copyright that. I learned to leave the butts with the Kardashians and allow myself to really just lean into getting past this fear around money. Oh my gosh, when that shifted for me, it was like freaking over. And when people kind of like tell me around like the dreams and the goals that I have and just kind of like, Lupita, calm down, like this is like I'm hype myself up. Like, why not? Why not hype myself up? Who else is gonna do it for me if I'm not doing it for me, right? And that's so attractive when someone feels so good about their life. You want to be around that person. Not only does this affect your money, but this affects like if you're in a relationship, if you don't have a relationship, and you're trying to attract a relationship, it's all of those things like that. They cannot help to be around you. You become so effing magnetic. It's hard to stay away from somebody like that. I don't want to keep going on and on and on. Let me see if there are any questions here. Yeah, there's no questions. So, if you have fear around money, number one, this problem is so freaking solvable and you can solve it so fast. And the way that you can solve it on your own, if you don't want to, get help around it, is change that story that you have around money. Like, I'm not worth it, they won't pay it, or I don't have enough skills, I never grew up around money, so how is it gonna come to me? And just all of these things, the story, and you're analyzing stuff too. You're too I almost said another bad word. I don't know if I can say it on YouTube. You're too freaking smart for your own good. Stop analyzing it and just allow yourself to believe this new story around money. And yeah, it's gonna be challenging, but if you have the right support system, if you have the right systems in place in order for you to get past that initial hump, right, then it would be so freaking easy. I'm telling you, really, like, money is like the easiest problem. Money is the easiest problem. The ones that are harder is whatever it is that you're believing that is hard. It's the story. It's the story. Yeah, Artie, go ahead. What's your question? So it's the story that you have around money and what you are choosing to believe about yourself and what you're choosing to believe. And a lot of it, I would have to say, as a psychotherapist, right? And all of the work that I have done on myself internally, and even like spiritual work, I do believe in manifesting. I believe in law of assumption and things like that, affirmations. So they're super powerful. Super powerful. I'm just looking to see about the question here. Super powerful. And just the way that I do what I do is like stupid, ridiculous, simple. And people are just like, it can't be that easy. It can't be that easy. Like, yeah, it is that easy, because I don't realize that's why that's why I call myself the anti-therapy therapist. You guide only about money or something like love, karma, energy, spirit, everything, everything. I have had recently, I just finished working with a client who had some addictions around, I know this is gonna sound crazy, right? But some addictions around like really heavy stuff. Like I can't even, I'm not sure if I'm able to say it on here. And after working together for 6 months, they had already been clean and sober for 3 months. So yeah, and we were working having to do with money as well, and relationships and love and family things, because all of that has to do with you. I work with your core, and that creates a ripple effect, like the center of a spider web. It creates a ripple effect into all areas of your life. You have a story around everything. You have a story around how you cope with your emotions. You have, and it could be like how you cope with your emotions having to do with money, how you cope with your emotions having to do with love, how you cope with your emotions having to do with family, how you cope with your emotions having to do with your mom, your dad, your kids, whatever the situation is, your business. So once I help you work with the center, then that creates that amazing, beautiful, magical like ripple effect, and it just like starts to spread everywhere, because it's you. It's you here around business. It's you here around love. It's you here around, every area of your life. Yeah, great. Awesome. Awesome. So that's all the time I have today. You're no I'm Hey, man, UTD fan, I would love to help you with that. I do that all the time with my clients. Thank you so much for sharing that. I really appreciate you for sharing that, because that's what we're talking about. You have a story around yourself, right? And I bet you probably have trouble with money too. And that's okay. I used to be there. I used to be insecure AF. I used to like always be the quiet one, always be reserved. I was always like not the friend, you know what I'm saying? Like my friends were always like the hot ones, and I acted like I wasn't, or that's how I showed up energetically. Now that's definitely not the situation. Um, yeah, and I just felt like I was so unworthy. Like I'm not attractive enough. No one's gonna want me. Who's gonna want this? Who's gonna want that? Who's gonna want to deal with this? Who's gonna want to deal with that? All of that is a fucking story in your head to do with experience, and turn that story around. That is no longer going to be the story for you. Like I just posted in my testimonials over on Instagram, one of my clients who was like just kind of in the same place, and he reached out to me like, hey Lupita, I'm in a beautiful relationship. This girl's like amazing, she's super hot, and I feel so good about myself. And it was just so cute. You can go ahead and go check out the testimonial over on Instagram. I'd love to help you with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I want to remind you again, this story around money, this problem, this fear you have around money is so solvable, and you can solve it so quickly. And you're going to start seeing like just money flowing in so quickly as soon as you can change this story around money. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You know, I am clever. I am good. But I also don't believe in coincidences, and I attracted you to watch this video here today. So I look forward to connecting with you again and seeing you on my lives. I'm gonna go live every day, just talking about different things and how I help my clients, and seeing who else needs help, and seeing how I can get you guys like massive transformations, and yeah, help you like get to where you need to go. Before I go, man, you to deep end, I want to give you a tip. Remember, it's the story that you're telling yourself. So maybe it has to do with childhood trauma, something that you experienced in the past where you're believing that you're not worthy. You're thinking that you're not confident. I don't care. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you think it's like overweight or you're ugly, you're not attractive. All of that stuff is BS because there are people out there that are, overweight. Like, what are those shows with the, 1,000-pound sisters and they get like guys that want to marry them and stuff, right? Like, there's dudes out there with women that attract women looking like that, right? And I'm not passing judgment, but whatever it is, that there are people out there that don't think that way. They don't think that those things about themselves are limitations and block them from getting what they want. And for other people, they might look at them and be like, they're freaking crazy. Like, how do they even get that? And stuff like that. And it's up here, it's the story they are choosing to tell themselves. And even though they don't believe it, they're not blocking themselves from it, right? Like a guy who gets this like super hot chick that she's like so amazing and so beautiful, and he doesn't believe that she's with him, but as long as he doesn't block her from being with him, he gets to keep her. And then he continues to believe while she stays, right? Continues to believe like, okay, well, maybe there is something about me that is worthy that somebody would want to stay. So yeah, that's BS. You can work on that. You can work on that. You can definitely work on that. Like, there's someone out there that would love to have a person like you. All you're doing is you're not telling yourself you're telling yourself the wrong story. You have to change the story. And the story that you made in your head has to do with whatever trauma you experienced in the past. And all of that is BS. I'm actually going to do a video today around how the story has been created having to do with childhood trauma. So if you want to change that and you're ready to invest in yourself, click in the description in the description below to book a consultation. This isn't for people that want free coaching. This is for people that are actually ready to change their lives and they want to have the life they've always wanted. You having the partner that you want can happen for you so fast, you will not freaking believe it. like the money problem is so solvable. This problem around like attracting a partner, oh my gosh, you can do it. All you gotta do is change the story. Like, no lie, no lie. Yeah, okay, I've been alone for 14 years. Okay, so you're telling yourself a story. I can't get someone because I've been alone for so long. Stop telling that story. Start telling the story of, it can happen to me tomorrow. It can happen to me later on today. And if it can, here's what you're doing, okay? Here's the story, right? Number one, you're believing the story that you're telling yourself. I've been alone for 14 years. So if you're telling yourself, I've been alone for 14 years, how's this gonna happen? You're analyzing it with a how, right? I've been alone for 14 years. And then what you're doing is you're saying, you're kind of like basically saying, it's not gonna happen because I've been alone for so long. And so what you have to do is start telling yourself, it can happen any day. It can happen later on today. It can happen tomorrow. Because you've been telling yourself that you've been alone for 14 years, right? I bet you're not taking care of yourself. I bet you're not dressing nice. I bet you're not taking care of your skin. I bet you're not taking care of your health and all of these things because you keep on thinking that it's not going to happen. But if you knew that it was gonna happen today, if you knew she was gonna see you today, would you be ready for that, right? Do you have that haircut? Are you wearing clothes that make you feel good about yourself? Are you walking around with a smile where she would look at you and be like, oh my gosh, who is that? I want to know who that is. Like, if you're 6'5", like, a whole bunch of women are looking for you. I'm gonna tell you that right now, okay? All you have to do is walk around like you know that. Walk around with that story that I'm 6'5", and women would love to be with someone like me. But you're not walking around with that story. You're walking around with the story of, I've been alone for 14 years and I don't know when this is going to happen to me. It's never going to happen. And because you're telling yourself that story, guess what? You're not showing up like that man, right? That she would look at and be like, who is that guy? You're not showing up with clothes that make you feel good. You're not showing up with skin that makes you feel good. You're not showing up with a smile and things like that. And I promise you, it can change overnight. Like, it can change in the same day. How many people say like, oh, I went into Starbucks and we grabbed the same cup and then it was over, right? Like, there's so many stories. So many stories, success stories of people just like finding people right away. And they never thought it was possible. All you have to do is allow yourself to change that story. And you don't have to believe that it's going to happen today in order for it to happen today. You don't have to believe that it's going to happen today. That's what's crazy about this. That's what's crazy about the work that I do. You don't have to believe that. So when I say you don't have to believe it, right? This is the same around money too. Let's say you don't have to believe it in order for it to happen for you. So let's say I don't believe that she's gonna find me today. Like, I'm gonna get like a hot chick today, or I'm gonna meet someone today. Don't believe it, but still show up. Still show up. Don't believe it. What's gonna happen is if you continue to show up that way, right? You continue to show up with those clothes that make you feel good. You're just feeling good about yourself and you still don't believe it's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna notice you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You don't have to believe. She probably will come up to you and ask about you or ask for your number or ask something about you, right? And you're probably not even going to believe it. You're going to be, most guys are completely oblivious to it. You're going to be oblivious to it and walk away like, oh my gosh, that woman was totally like trying to talk to me. Right? You don't have to believe that it's going to happen to you. You do not have to believe that it's going to happen to you. All you have to do is allow yourself to show up that way. That's it. You could still hold it in your head like, I'm not going to find her. I'm not going to find her. But there's no way you're not going to find her. There's no way you're not going to attract her if you're changing, if you changed, right? If you're showing up differently. So I hope this makes sense. This is the same thing around money. If you have a fear around money, right? You don't have to believe that you're going to make all of this money for you to make all the money. The thing is that you're going to keep the fear, right? You're going to keep the fear. But sometimes we need to see it before we believe it. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way, right? But like I said, you don't have to believe it in order. You know what? I'm gonna retract my last statement around unfortunately it works out. It has to work out that way. You don't have to believe it in order for you to see it. You don't have to believe it in order for you to see it. In order for us to believe it, sometimes we have to see it, right? Like kids, most of them never really saw Santa, but they did, right? Like they saw Santa in like pictures at the mall. They didn't get to like sit on his lap or anything, but they knew he existed. They already had like enough of things to happen to them where they ended up continuing to believe, right? You never seen $1 million. That doesn't mean that it doesn't exist and it cannot be yours. Even when it becomes yours, at that point, you probably still won't believe it until it continues to be there. And then you're like, oh my gosh, okay, this is really freaking real. Like, oh my gosh, this is happening, right? So you don't have to believe it in order for it to happen to you. That's how the brain works. So if you want more help with this, I'd love to, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I'm so glad. If you want more help with this, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to help in any way that I can. Again, this is not for free coaching. This is for people that are ready to invest in yourself. I would never, ever want to waste your time and try to steer you in the wrong direction. So if you're ready to invest in yourself and you want to change your life in as little as 3 weeks, like imagine 3 weeks from now, you can be in a completely different place financially, love-wise, with your family, whatever it is. That's what I help my clients with. My description, my information is in the description below. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I'm so happy to have helped here. This is a good live. This is a good live. I wasn't expecting to go this long either. So thank you so much. I'll talk to you all later. Don't forget to like. Please don't forget to like. Don't forget to hit the likes. Don't forget to comment and subscribe. I appreciate you. If you subscribe, you'll be able to know when I'm going live too. Thank you again for your time and attention. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you all soon. Mwah. Bye.